Hey, another really exciting day today in Flower Patch Land. There's been quite a lot. I was in meetings for, I would say, about 3, 4 hours today. Lots of very, very exciting stuff, in particular regarding to UC Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator. So today we were discussing with them ideas for promotion and potentially how we can develop our business better. The accelerator, what they're really great at is helping us to market better and to help us eventually reach out to venture capitalists if that's kind of the direction that we want to take. They have a lot of great resources amongst professors and experts, who have started their own companies, people who can help us make our pitch deck really perfect, people who can get us in touch directly with the venture capitalists. So all that's very exciting, and definitely we have some promotions along, those lines coming up, which I think are going to give us a ton more exposure than we've ever had before, kind of like potentially much more. I don't want to go into details about like what that is yet until it actually happens, but I'm really really hyped, and so is the team. Yeah, aside from that, I want to go over a couple of things. I went and did the presentation that I talked about in the last video. I'm not really going to go over that, but the experience was really quite amazing. Here, I can show you a little bit of it. They're going to post a full, like, edited down VOD of the talk at some point, but, so for example, here, just kind of staggering. I think there was about 60 people there in the call. So, I mean, this is the head professor of the entrepreneurship program that people are doing. They said that for the last 3 years, at least one team from their entrepreneurship class actually got accepted into Berkeley Blockchain Accelerator and then went on to be huge successful. They've created some unicorns, meaning like high valuations. They've helped people to be on stage in front of large tech conferences, this kind of thing. So yeah, and just like, I'm blurring out the names and stuff here for people's privacy. Obviously, it's a big Zoom call. I'll take out everything that is kind of a little bit questionable, but it was a long form discussion format. I had a chance to present. Then we had a lot of discussion topics about usability, user experience, scaling blockchains, how to attract users, and a lot of also really great information about how blockchain really is revolutionary, how it's a revolutionary in the gaming space, how it's a revolutionary international remittance space, how it's revolutionary for savings, how it's on 24/7. You don't need to wait for the stock market to open. One of the teams there, Snowball, they have a really simple app that allows you to earn somewhere between 7 and 10% interest via like various kinds of crypto loaning. They have like risk tolerance settings. So if you've ever used something like Wealthfront, they let you pick like how risky you want your portfolio to be, and then kind of let you play the game that way. So all that's very, very exciting. Aside from all that, another important topic is, I wanted to go back and address some of the tech debt that we've generated. And I've begun doing that. So one of the issues that we've unfortunately been having lately, and this is like totally my bad, relates to the minter periodically just sort of hanging. We have the system which mints the flowers when you do breeds or when you buy things from the store. But occasionally that service would just kind of stop. And this is like pretty frustrating. Eventually I traced it down to there was a bug in this concept called context in Go. Just for fun, I'd like to kind of go through what context is, because it's an interesting idea in general in programming, and it'll help to understand like what the fix that I had to make today was. So hopefully the minter is going to be more stable from now on, since I fixed a couple of these issues. Mostly it was bugs that I created, so my bad. But all right, so here let's get into context. The idea with context is that periodically various services that you're using, APIs that you're using, they might fail, or they might just take way too long. And in some cases that can cause just a deadlock where just nothing happens, the code stops there, it keeps waiting forever. So in Go they have this cool concept called context. The idea with context is that A, you're able to pass around information with requests, but B, the context forms a system of timeouts and deadlines. So a timeout is like, okay, this call can take up to 30 seconds. A deadline is like, okay, this API call can take until tomorrow at 4 p.m. deadline. So there's a pretty nice blog here that I like a lot. It explains the context fairly well and sort of shows some funny graphics about, yeah, needing to control your memory usage and your CPU usage and time. And in general, you know, context actually forms a tree, because you might have like a user request something. So let's say a user is asking for a search query. You know, we just inputted the search API. Part of the search might be that you have to check a database, you know, to get the flower data. And another part might be that you need to talk to the game server to find out which flowers are planted. So you had this like root request that we started on, and then that forked into 2 more requests. And then, you know, those could fork on down and continue on. So what we see here is kind of the diagram of that. We started the context. That context could fork into context 1 and context 2. Context 1 can then further fork to context 1.1 and context 1.2. So this says here that if C is canceled, like the root context is canceled because a timeout is hit or something like that, all of these sub-contexts will be automatically canceled, which is really great because it means that if you still have like pending work to do, you know, database requests that are going to go out, they can be canceled early and your system can prevent doing that work. And then also here they kind of show that if you just cancel C1, so C1 here is in gray, it'll cancel C11 and C12 while allowing C2 to continue. So it's, again, it's this tree structure and the cancellations sort of bubble down. We can kind of see this in practice. So here's some example code. Yeah, so this is a pretty basic one with just like with cancellation. It creates that tree that we had, and then it only cancels C1, right? So we have somewhere here, yeah, this one here. This is the cancel, right? And yeah, the rest of them will be canceled as well. So let's run it. And yeah, we get the expected results. So some of them are canceled. C1 is canceled, C11 is canceled, C12 is canceled. But meanwhile, C, the root one, is not canceled, and C2 is also not canceled. So that's kind of the idea. I made a fix related to this in the Minter and redeployed it. So hopefully the Minter is going to stay up now. But that is the root cause of it, and you can kind of see maybe what I was talking about with TechDebt the other day. Yeah, aside from that, you know, I'm also currently working on several other things. We're talking to Fortmatic, which is another kind of automatic wallet onboarding system similar to Portis. This allows people to just come in, type in their email address, receive a magic link in their email, and that's all they need to create an Ethereum account and get started. So like, really the UX here is getting so simple and so smooth. I'm really excited about the future because, like, really I believe that it's about what the tech does for the users and not the tech itself. Users don't really care what the tech is. They just wanted to do something that wasn't possible before. And this is a great example of that. You can create an Ethereum account just using an email. So when we're going to go to the dispensary stuff where you scan like a QR code and you're given a free flower, you know, we want the onboarding to be as seamless as possible. We want people to receive their flower and their Ethereum account immediately. The other great thing about Fortmatic is that it's non-custodial, meaning that, again, they are not able to take your money from you. Only you're in control of your money, even though you don't need to install a wallet or extension or anything like that. So it's very exciting. Also been doing some very great networking and talks with some other amazing individuals in the crypto community, people who really kind of see the big picture. And we may eventually materialize that into having some new advisors that are going to be able to help guide us down this like path of developing our business and figuring out where the next steps will be in 6 months, year, 2 years kind of time frame. So in general, really amazing day, really excited about the future, pretty exhausted. I've just been kind of working nonstop for almost the entire day. Lots more of that to come this month as we ramp up towards all these like promotions and deals that we have coming up with dispensaries and other crypto games. But I'm excited. To me, it feels like this is getting close to the time where our business becomes sustainable and kind of hits an inflection point in the amount of users we have, the amount of game features we have, the quality of the usability, how easy it is to get on board, how easy it is to play. So all of that, I think, hopefully will pay off in a pretty major way. I hope that's exciting for all of you guys who are existing flower holders, and it's definitely exciting for me as someone who's dreamed about running a little startup since I was 14 years old. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for checking out this video, and I'll catch you in the next one on Wednesday. Take care.